So, in the month of April 2021, according to my analytics, I had 690 watch hours. And then in the month of April 2021, bearing in mind that it is still April, it is the 22nd of April on the date of me filming this video, I got 3,832 watch hours. What? If you're wondering how I did it, then keep watching. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be talking about how you can get your 4,000 watch hours, which we all know you need in order to get monetized on YouTube. Now, as you would have heard from my intro, I experienced some mad growth in regards to watch hours and subscribers in the month of April. If you are new to my channel and you came in April, which is going to be most of you, because honestly I had like hardly anyone on here in March, then welcome and thank you so much for subscribing and supporting my channel. I appreciate you so much. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I made that jump, because I actually can pinpoint specific stuff that I've done from the beginning of my YouTube journey back in November 2020, and also what I've recently done within the past couple months, which I really think have all led to this like jump in watch hours. So hopefully I'll share these tips with you, you'll implement them, and then you'll experience the same thing. Okay, so the first thing that I started doing, and I've only started doing this for about a month, but I think it massively contributed to that April spike in my watch hours, is I started to get really tactical with my end cards. So I hope that all of you guys use end cards anyway, but if you don't and you don't know what they are, they're basically the end screens that you see at the end of a lot of YouTube videos. You'll see them at the end of this one, for example, where it will have a subscriber button potentially, but it will also have links to like a playlist or a next video. And the whole idea is that it gets people to stay on YouTube's platform because they'll click on a next video and they'll just continue to binge watch people's content. That's the whole reason why it's there from YouTube's perspective, but it also helps you from your own perspective because it means you can keep people on your channel. And the way that I basically started to use those and get more tactical with them is by linking to a specific video at the end of each of my videos. So I used to do this whole like long drawn out, thanks so much for watching, hopefully you use all my tips and blah blah blah. I used to do all of that for like 2 minutes and have like my music theme, like my theme music playing, and I thought it was great. And then I realized even when I was rewatching my videos that I would just switch off during that last minute because I know that all the content's been shared, so my mind's already going elsewhere. And when that happens, when you're a viewer, you'll switch off and then you'll start going on the suggested section of your YouTube page and just start clicking on other people's videos. And then as a YouTuber, you've lost them. You've lost that viewer because now they're bored and they're looking at for someone else's page. So what I started doing instead is scrapping all the nonsense that I was talking about at the end of the videos. Honestly, look at one of my early videos and you'll see what I mean. So I started scrapping all of that. And instead now I will very quickly get to the point and say, thank you for watching. If you're interested in this subject, check out this video. I talk about this in it. And that's it. So the second I've stopped providing value, that is the next thing I say. And because I purposely linked to a video what's related to the one what I would have been filming or talking about at the time, hopefully people will be like, oh yeah, you're right, I am interested in this. I'm going to watch this video next. And it just gets people into this loop of just binge watching your content. And I really think that has massively helped me with my hours, because people have just kind of fallen into one video and then ended up watching 5 in a row. The next point is kind of similar to the first one in the sense that I'm talking about getting rid of all the nonsense and the jibber jabber that we include in our videos. This one's harder for me to do and I don't always do it, so I'm sorry if I've not perfected it yet. But what the tip is to get to the point. So the same way I was saying in the end of my videos, I don't like gibber on about absolute nonsense anymore. At the start of the videos, you shouldn't do that either. You want to get to the point when you're providing value as soon as possible. I try to aim to start providing value between 30 seconds and 1 minute of the video, and I think that's quite a good guide. And don't worry if you're not like a coaching platform or like a how-to platform. When I say providing value, I don't just mean providing tips and information. I mean getting to the content which was promised in your title and your thumbnail. So if you're in the travel niche and your thumbnail and your title was all about your trip to Morocco, then you need to get to your Morocco content within 30 seconds to a minute of that video so that people are straight in there and it just retains them. And that was going to help with your watch hours. I actually, on this, and I'm not saying for you to do this because I feel like some people are going to be like, I don't want to do that. I ditched my intro. So I used to have an intro which was very much centered on like my businesses, which isn't relevant to all the content what I create anyway. So either way, I was going to have to change it. But I ditched it and I thought to myself, is this the right thing to do? Because it was a short intro and it had a really nice song on it and I just really liked it. But then I looked at some of my like other YouTubers, like I think like Erin on Demand and like Catherine Manning and stuff, and they don't have intros. Like your big YouTubers, look at them, because a lot of them don't have intros. It's just delaying the valuable content even further. So consider it. Don't hate me for suggesting it, but just consider it. Okay, so let's talk about bingeable niches. So this is an interesting one because I feel like a lot of people talk about niches on YouTube, but I don't think they necessarily talk about it maybe in the same way or come from the same perspective that I do a lot of the time. So the thing with niches, if you have one very refined niche, like for example, book reviews of the thriller category. So that is like niche down to books, niche down to thrillers, like it is proper, you know, specific. If you have a niche like that, then what happens is all of your content is obviously related to that niche and it's incredibly easy to binge, because if one person likes one of your videos on your thriller book review, the chances are they're going to like all your other videos. So they're probably going to stay on your channel and watch all of them. So that's the thing about bingeable niches, and that's why so many people will recommend that you niche down as much as you possibly can. Where I come from with it is, yes, you need to have a defined niche, but I think on YouTube, there is scope for you to have a few. It's better if they're related, but let's use my channel for an example. All of my content is in the world of side hustles and businesses and personal branding and stuff like that. That's all under that umbrella. However, I could niche that down a lot further and only create content which is related to influencing, or only create content which is related to owning your own boutique, or only create content which is related to passive income side hustles. Like that could be my more granular niche. Instead, what I'm choosing to do is to have a bunch of different buckets of content which all relate to each other. So whilst I create loads of content on Instagram growth, I also want to create loads of content on YouTube tips. And I also want to create loads of content on boutique owners and side hustles. I want to have all of those different playlists and all of those different buckets under my one channel. And that's okay, and you can do that too. The one thing what you need to be aware of though is that it is going to take a lot more work for you to get to the stage where people can just binge your content. Because what it basically means is that you now need to build up a bank of content in each of those niches in order for it to get to the stage where people will just binge it. And one thing what I learned during this process is sometimes it helps to focus on one for the time being, especially when you're trying to get those 4,000 hours so that you can get monetized. Because I started to focus on Instagram growth, which is what my job is, and I've got loads of kind of knowledge and expertise in that area. So I started to focus on Instagram growth, and I produced a bunch of different videos specifically on that. And that massively helped me with my watch hours, because then I had a huge bank of content what people could just watch and binge on. So now that I've kind of done that, I'll continue to create Instagram content, but now I can also work on building up some of my other buckets of content. For example, this YouTube video, because this is only YouTube video number 2. So I've got some work ahead of me. But that is a strategy that I recommend that you do if you really just feel like I don't want to niche down to the point where it's super specific and that's the only thing I'm allowed to talk about. If you want to talk about other stuff, just know that it's going to take a bit more work. The next tip I have is super tactical. So, as we all know, the longer the video is, the longer people watch it, and therefore the easier it is to build up some watch hours. Now, I don't believe in making videos long for the sake of making videos long. However, sometimes there will be topics that can warrant a long video. My example is this one, which is all about how to become an influencer in 2021. So the reason why I created this video was actually because I was getting a lot of DMs. I was running a bit of a campaign at the time, but also I just was getting so many DMs from budding influencers, because I provide coaching in that area, who were just asking me for advice and tips on their page, or they were just asking me specific questions. And I realized, like, okay, I actually need to do a video on this so that I don't have to kind of keep on repeating it, and I can just link them to it. So I thought, actually, this is a really good opportunity for me to make a long video, make it super detailed, and then I think it's like 30 minutes, which is by far my longest video. And then I can directly send this video to anyone who asks me a question what's related to becoming an influencer, but also to everyone who has asked me that question in the past. I literally had hundreds of messages that I revisited and was like, hey, by the way, I've just created this YouTube video which talks about what I just told you in a bit more detail, check it out. And people were so thankful for it anyway, because obviously I'm providing more like free content and value, right? But on me, on the other hand, it meant that my watch hours had this huge jump. because suddenly I was getting people to watch like a 30-minute video, and because they were interested in the topic, it was like they were watching the entire thing. So that was a really, really useful tip for me. So if you're in like the coaching niche and you've got clients or you've got people who message you all the time asking certain questions, then create a long video on that topic. Or, if you are in a different niche, like a lifestyle or a fashion niche or a gaming niche or whatever, and you keep on getting video requests from people, you know that a lot of people want to watch a video on a certain topic, make it detailed and make it longer, because you know you're going to get a lot of traction for it, and it's just going to give your watch hours a boost. Okay, so my final tip for the day is one which probably no one wants to hear, but it's to make more content. It's to make more content. Everyone needs a posting schedule anyway. I got really tripped up on this in the beginning because I wanted to post twice a week, but it was really difficult for me to post twice a week and to stick to that schedule. So what would happen is I would intend to post twice a week, and then when I didn't and I only posted once, I'd get really annoyed at myself because it felt like I'd failed. Do you know what I mean? So I don't recommend picking a posting schedule which is going to be a real challenge or a stretch for you. But what I do now is I commit to posting at a minimum once a week, unless I'm ill, because I was poorly recently, so I couldn't post and I had to skip a week. But I commit to posting at least once a week, and then I give myself the option of also posting during the week if I have the time, right? I can say with complete confidence that having the ability to every now and then post twice a week rather than once has massively increased my watch hours, but also just the growth of my channel. You're basically giving yourself more opportunity to create a video what's going to take off, because a video it might take 5 months, it might take a year, it might take 2 years, whatever. One of your videos will get picked up by the algorithm. I believe in you. But also you are naturally increasing the amount of watch hours you're getting because people are watching more of your content. So that concludes my tips on how to get your first 4,000 watch hours on YouTube. If you want to know how to get your first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I recommend watching this video. I share with you all my really cool tactics and tricks which helped me get to 1,000 followers in just 5 short months. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.